Hi everyone. I want to introduce you to Nola today. We're at level 3 training in Adelaide. The last time I met Nola was in Adelaide, level 3, 2017, I believe. And at the time, it was an addiction training on addictions. And Nola and I were just practicing together. We just learned the addiction protocol and we were tapping together. And I wanted Nola to share with you her experience from 2017 to now and how she's going. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Nola.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Lolita. I had an addiction to snowballs. You know the marshmallow with the chocolate covering and the coconut, and you get 8 in a packet? Well, for a long time, I couldn't just eat one snowball. I had to eat the whole packet, and I could eat a whole packet of snowballs within 10 minutes and then just feel sick for the rest of the day, not only physically sick, but of course beating myself up as well.
And how long had you been doing that for?
Oh, a long time, years. I did have a break. My hip pocket nerve would kick in when I was at the supermarket if they were over $2. I would only buy them when they were on special and they had to be under $2. I was very grateful for that hip pocket nerve. But on the day when we were going to be dealing with addiction at the Fast EFT seminar, I took along a packet of snowballs. And
because we were all asked, weren't we, to bring along what we wanted to tap on. People bought chocolate and Coke and
crisps. And,
that's right, all kinds of things.
All kinds of things. Well, I took along my packet of snowballs, and you take one out and you look at it, and then what does it represent, and always searching for why am I addicted. And it came to me that as a young teenager, I loved cooking with my mother. We were on a farm and there was a lot of cooking. We did a lot together, and we worked together in the kitchen in harmony. It was a happy time.
That
Mum and I
represented love.
It was love, harmony.
Yes.
And so somehow my subconscious had linked that happy time with my mother to marshmallows and cooking and desserts. And while I was stuffing myself with this sugar, I was actually searching for my mother's harmony with my mother, and wanting that love. So Lolita helped me, and we tapped it all through.
And I remember it was when we do that protocol, we're tapping on the taste.
Yes.
So you taste the snowball, or you taste the chocolate, and then you tap on that.
Yes.
Because the brain has made a link with the taste. And then it was the smell.
Yes,
smell. So then it took you to the memory of the kitchen, didn't it?
It did. That's well remembered.
Yes.
So we worked through that whole issue, and we joined the group, and I just put the packet of 7 good snowballs in the bin.
By the time we'd finished, you just didn't want to put it in your mouth, did you?
No, not at all. I certainly didn't eat that one.
And they look so delicious, those snowballs.
So it went in the bin. The rest of them, it all went in the bin. Well, at the end of the day...
And you've never done that before, have you?
No. I wouldn't waste a snowball. What a waste of money.
Especially if you get them under $2.
I just put it all in the bin. At the end of the day, I came back to the table where the morning and afternoon thing was, and there was an empty packet of snowballs somebody had, Snowball, they had taken them out and somebody else ate them. A few weeks later.
That didn't bother you, did it?
I just thought it was funny.
Yes.
Somebody else had eaten the poisonous sugar, not me. And a few weeks later, we were invited out to dinner, and somebody had brought Snowballs for after dinner mints.
Oh, my
and
goodness.
put them right in front of me. Oh, no. Anyway, they sat there, and in the end, I gave in, and I had one. And that was the last Snowball.
How did it feel when you had that one? What did that feel like? Did you enjoy it the same as you did before, or was it just a Snowball?
I just felt sad.
Mm-hmm.
Sad that I had allowed, I had linked Snowballs with the love of my mother.
But you hadn't done it consciously, had you? Your subconscious did it.
The subconscious did it. Oh, not consciously at all.
And this is what happens, with all addictions and all foods and drinks that you have no control of. It's a subconscious mind that's making the links, and that's what we do with high strength tea. We work with the subconscious mind, not with the conscious mind.
No, because I had no reason to link them consciously.
That's right.
And my mother...
So you felt a little bit of sadness that you had that for so long.
I'd linked it for so long and not understood why. And no matter... Willpower doesn't come into it.
No,
you run out of willpower. You run out of willpower, particularly when they're under $2.
So when you didn't buy several packets.
I had a limited budget. I didn't have a stash. I never had a stash at home.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Never had a stash.
Many people do, don't they? I'll make sure there's several of them. That fridge is never empty of Coke or wine or, their cigarettes are always there, right? Chocolates are always there. Crisps are always there. You didn't do that.
No, I didn't do that. Now there's several blocks of dark chocolate in the pantry at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have had a piece of dark chocolate in 3 or 4 months. Yeah. It's not a problem.
Yeah. So it's more now you're in control of it.
I am.
And you can choose. It's not controlling you now. And that gives you freedom, doesn't it?
It's wonderful.
It gives you complete, as Robert says, liberation.
You're
liberated from this thing, that just controls you. Like, I remember you saying, you'd go to the supermarket and you'd be driving past the supermarket and you'd find yourself just driving there, not really needing anything, but just driving there.
Maybe they'll be on special this week.
Yes. So that's not freedom.
Oh, no.
That's not liberation. When something, a food or, a beverage is doing, a substance is doing that. So your relationship to Snowballs has completely changed. And this is 2017. It's 2019 now, and you still don't have that problem.
No, if I walk past them, I notice how expensive they are, but I also think, it's just poison, and I don't want that in my body. So it's not. I choose.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful.
I hope that helps.
I'm so thrilled to hear this story. And Nola's got another more recent story, a high strength tea story that she shared with us today, and I thought she might share it with all of you as well, to give you some perspective and some hope as well. But tell us about that.
It was in March 2018, so it's just a year ago. One night, as I was going to sleep, I found this lump in my breast.
What was your first thought? Yes.
No.
Yes.
Bother. Oh, well, I've got an appointment with my lovely female GP next week. I'll tell her and we'll go from there. And, and then I went to sleep. And, the next morning I even forgot to tell my loving husband about it. Anyway, he did know by the time I was going to the GP. And she confirmed that, yes, there was a lump there. And she drew the diagram, put a little X, marks the spot on the diagram, I had to go and book me in for a mammogram and an ultrasound and a biopsy if appropriate. And that's when reality hit.
And I
This
bet
is
during
real.
that whole time you were scared.
No, I wasn't scared.
No?
No, I wasn't
No,
scared.
I would have been.
Well, I wasn't scared. I thought,
yes.
oh, well,
Okay.
I'll deal with it if I have to. Well, of course, then when I
Great
get to the gym,
attitude.
well, that's my attitude to I'll
Is
deal with
it?
it if I have to.
That's
It
your
helps a
general
lot.
attitude. Okay.
I'll deal with it if I have to.
Yes.
So then, this is real. I've got to do something about this. Now, I've learned enough through Faster EFT to know that there could be an emotional link. So when I got home and had an opportunity, I got out my basic list of questions, short version, and I started to write. And the amount of stuff that comes out when I just start to write, I write. And I went to a memory, and the specific question was, when have my breasts been involved? That was my question to me.
Yes. Okay.
And I came to a memory when I was 16 years old, and I worked through all that. I worked through how I felt, the incident, how I felt, all the emotions. I worked through the forgiving, through to the integration of this beautiful little girl who had been hurt but who is now loved.
Wonderful.
And then the next, so say that was on a Thursday. The next Monday morning, and this would have been early April, so just a year ago, I was meeting with my tapping buddy, as I do on a regular basis, and I said, I've got an issue and it has to be addressed today. And not a problem, so let's go there. And as we started, she said she just had this thought. She'd never had it before, but she just said, okay, I want you to close your eyes and just visually take out that lump and put it on the table in front of you, because you need to have a conversation with this lump from your breast. Now that sounded a bit weirdo, but okay, I've got absolutely...
That's an NLP technique.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Well, and this bloody sort of lump landed on the table, and so, who are you? And much to my amazement, my dad was suddenly there, looking very perplexed. Now, my dad died in 2012. So,
conversation with your dad.
I had a conversation with my dad, and he was asking, he was perplexed, confused, why am I here? And so Dad and I had this conversation, and the memory was when I was 12, 13, and I was abused, and my father didn't know what to do about it. So he did nothing. And so I was feeling guilty, like it was all my fault. Well, this was a much older man, and I had also been taught to be quiet, don't question authority. You know, children should never be heard, seen but not heard. And no way was I going to buck authority, because all hell can break loose if you try that trick.
And so what happens with trauma, if it's not addressed, but not acknowledged, no support, no love, there, it goes into the body.
It went into my body, and I didn't have support, and I blamed myself, and it had lodged. And so Dad and I had this conversation, and he was crying and I was crying, because he said I didn't know what to do. And so he asked for forgiveness, and I forgave him. And my last memory of it now is Dad and I walking away from the incident hand in hand.
So this is a memory re-imprinted now. We're talking about when you use the Faster EF process, the subconscious mind still has that memory. And when you go back and you address it using all the different techniques that we have, and then eventually the brain re-imprints it. Re-imprints it, changes it.
So then I have to go for these tests. So I go off for the mammogram, and the technician, where is it? And I showed her, and she felt it, and she said, oh, I don't think you have a problem. Anyway, she took the x-rays, and then I go on for the ultrasound, and the technician is looking and looking and looking for something. Now, I'd like to add that from the time I felt the lump and the doctor felt the lump, I did not touch that lump again. I didn't go for it. I didn't massage it.
Right.
I just left it alone.
Yes, yes.
The first
Didn't do anything.
ultrasound technician couldn't find it. So then she went and got another technician. No, it's nothing there. And the doctor came in. There's nothing there. And so I sort of, well, thank you, Lord. How blessed am I? And thank you, Faster EFT, because I knew how to address the issues of the memories. And when I went back to see my GP, I told her that the whole process I've told you, and she said to me, the mind is very powerful.
Yes.
Now, if it had been cancerous, and how would I have dealt with it? I'd thought about that. How, if it is cancerous, how would I deal with it? And my first thought is I would aim for ketogenics. I would cut all sugar, glucose like the flours, anything that would spike my blood sugar levels. I would seek out Faster EFT. I would go for good nutrition. I would love me and care for me. I'm blessed. I didn't have to go down that path, but actually I'm still doing, but I am still working on that path. Low sugar, low carb,
really
self-care.
Taking care of yourself. Yes.
Exercise is important.
Wonderful.
And so
well, you look pretty
that.
amazing. You look pretty amazing.
Thank you. So be encouraged. If you have a medical issue, also look at the emotional issues that might be affecting it. And with the tools that we as practitioners have learned in Faster EFT, the changes can be very.
Because we're working with the mind, and we know the mind has the ability to heal our bodies.
Yes.
And that's what we do with Faster EFT.
So I hope that you find that helpful.
Thank you so much, Nola. Thank you for sharing that with me. I'm so happy to hear your snowballs.